One of the things that we want to do over in the country of Rwanda, the smallest country in Africa, second to smallest country, but it's the cleanest country. I saw a video of a young man who was visiting there. You know, in most of those African countries, you'll see, you know, open sewers and ditches and things. This guy was sitting in what was their sewer, eating. It was that clean. And he videoed the guy from the city who was cleaning out the gutter, the sewer. He said, I clean the sewer out twice a day. They come in there, push water down there. He's got a broom sweeping that thing. We just have to raise the expectations that we don't do that here in Jackson. It's not impossible. Remember I told you earlier that our leadership is living below our upbringing? I told you there was 11 kids in our family. And when my mother got off from work, she said, when I turn this corner, I don't want to see any. We lived in the middle of the block. We had to pick up paper all the way down to the corner both ways, whether we put it down there or not. And so that's what we're bringing to the table. We want that. We're going to encourage the churches to get involved. I told you about the grid system. We're going to lay it over the city. The churches that fall within that grid and that ward, we're asking them to take money out of their benevolence fund and pay their kids to work on those projects in those areas. Those churches that don't have it, we've got another 501c3 that's already set up by a local realtor, Locke Ward. He's already doing that. So we can dovetail into that. So those churches that cannot pay will make money available to pay their students. But we want the kids, particularly between the ages of 9 and 13 years old. We want to work them from 7 a.m. to 12 p.m. on that Saturday. But when they finish working, we want to pay them in cash. I'm talking about we want to count that money out to them in their hand. See, people do these mentoring programs. Oh, I've been mentoring for 2 or 3 years. You don't need to mentor 2 or 3 years. Get these kids a good, strong work ethic and get them used to making their own money. You ain't got to keep doing that. I'm a product of that. And so I know it works. So we're going to get back to basics. So you pay that child cash on the barrelhead, and he's able to go home and go sit up at the soda fountain and order him a chili dog and a root beer or a float. He feeling like he's the king of the world. And he take a couple of dollars and buy hot dogs and baked beans for the family, because family's struggling. And he can tell his brother, says, I fed all y'all. It's an esteem building situation. And they've been doing it since time immemorial. We just stopped doing it because you got people in the compassion industry who, in many cases, some people are getting high off their compassion. And there are books been written about that, and we all have to be, it's just like pride. We have to be mindful as we do things. The late Reverend Vickers out of Atlanta told me, he said, Kim, you got to understand. He said, it's the spirit in which you do things, son. If you're doing things with the wrong spirit, even if it's a good thing, it's going to bear ill fruit down the line. And so we're trying to avoid the consequences of ill fruit by doing the right thing for the right reasons. And teaching these kids a good, strong work ethic is just that.